All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be previewing the Western European TI11 regional qualifiers, in which we have 12 teams competing for just one TI invite. And of course, 2 more spots for those last chance qualifiers are going to be taking place in October, and I will be previewing those. So, taking a look at the teams that are going to be competing in this mini playoff bracket, it's going to basically consist of every single team that played in 2 or 3 in Western Europe, upper division or lower division. The only teams that will not be competing in this are the 3 teams that have already qualified, which we will go over later, and 1 team in the lower division that has disbanded, and so they will not be competing, those being the EU rejects. So, before we get into it, let's take a look at the overall standings in Western Europe and where these teams placed among the rest in the DPC this past year. Leading the way in Western Europe, coming in 2nd place overall with an astounding 1,930 points, it is OG. And it is even more astounding when you think about the fact that they only had 50 DPC points after Tour 1. Yeah, these guys had a pretty good back half of the season. Following that, at 9th and 10th place overall in the DPC, we have Tundra and Gaming Gladiators finishing with 1,212 points and 1,130 points respectively. And then following that, in 4th of the region, just barely missing the cutoff point for the DPC point cutoff, making it to top 12, getting that direct invite to TI, is Team Liquid. They finished with 890 DPC points, 14th overall, so just 2 spots behind that qualifier. Following that, in 5th place, not too far behind, we have Entity finishing 17th place overall in the DPC with 615 points. And finally, the only other team in the DPC from Western Europe that actually earned points this whole season is Team Secret, finishing 31st overall with 78 points. So they were never going to qualify off of points. I don't think they were expecting to, but luckily for them, they have these regional play-ins that they can rely on, which hopefully they have some better results in than they have had all year. This is going to be the first bracket style tournament that Team Secret is going to be actually competing in when it comes to DPC, and so it'll be exciting to see how they perform here. Taking a look at our upcoming matches, every single match that is going to be taking place tomorrow is an upper bracket match, meaning there will not be any elimination. However, that does not mean that these matches are not important. Teams need to at least finish top 3 to keep their TI dreams alive. Anything below that, they are cut off. There is no more opportunity for you to make it. So, kicking things off, and I know that there's a bit of a glare on the board where the times are, but don't worry, I'll be walking you through it. These times are all in GMT. Kicking things off at 8 a.m. GMT, we have Liquid versus DGG. Unfortunately for me, that's taking place at 4 a.m., so I will not be able to catch that one live, but I will be following up on the replay. And that one should be a good one. For Team Liquid, again, very unfortunate that they don't qualify to TI directly with DPC points. All they really needed was 1 series win at a major, and they just couldn't do it. They couldn't do it on the main stage. They were 1 game away against Boom, and it just slipped away from them. And because of that, they now have to rely on these qualifiers. So very unfortunate. Although, fortunate for them, this entire tournament is going to be held online. It is not in person. And for Team Liquid, they have really excelled at online play this past year. So hopefully that gives them some sort of advantage. And for DGG, again, not saying that there's no chance for them, but I do think that they're a little outmatched. They are a lower bracket team who did place pretty high, although for Team Liquid, they have been one of the best teams in Western Europe's upper division for the entire past year and even longer before that. So we'll see how that goes, although I do think that Liquid should be moving on. Anything other than that would be a pretty big upset. Following that, at 11 a.m. GMT, and one that I will definitely be trying to watch live, is Goon Squad versus Enigma Galaxy. I think out of all the 4 matches that are going to be taking place tomorrow, this one should be the most competitive. These are the 2 teams that are the most evenly matched out of all 4 series here, at least in my opinion. They have both been in very similar scenarios where both of them have kind of dominated the lower division of Western Europe, but struggled very hard in the upper division of Western Europe. For Enigma Galaxy, that was, of course, before they acquired Sumail, so we'll see how that affects their roster when it comes to their placement among the best teams in Western Europe, although we have seen that the gap between the upper division and lower division in Western Europe has been pretty insurmountable for a lot of teams. There have been a huge amount of teams that have come up from the lower division in Western Europe and just got absolutely smashed down to the lower division. They look like they lost all their morale, and then they perform really well in the lower division again. So it's not like the team is bad. They just have a hard time adjusting to the upper division. So regardless, that whole long tangent was just my way of saying that I think these 2 teams are super evenly matched, and I'm really stoked for that matchup tomorrow. Following that, at 2 p.m. GMT, we have Team Secret versus Into the Breach. Again, same scenario for Liquid versus DGG, although maybe a little bit less. I think Team Secret should be the winner here, although with how inconsistent they've been this past year, who knows? I will say, despite the fact that Team Secret has looked very, very hot and cold throughout this past year, they have been very consistent at finishing 5th place in every single tour. Again, they have not played a single playoff bracket in the DPC this whole past year because they just never made the cut, so we'll see how that goes. Following that, at 5 p.m., ending off the day, we have Alliance versus Entity. Again, another match that should be pretty fun, but Entity should be the team that walks away with the win here. We've seen crazier, but just based off the way that we saw Alliance play this past tour, it again makes it feel kind of rough that they might not have a shot here. But who knows? Again, we've seen crazier things, and we'll see. Entity was also one of those teams in the lower division at one point. They came back, they made their way into the upper division. We'll see if Alliance is able to do the same thing and cement themselves as one of the best teams in the region once again. So as for the bracket, the winners of all 4 of these series are going to be moving on and finishing in at least top 6 in these qualifiers, which of course is not what you want. You want to finish top 3 at least to at least keep your dreams alive, but getting to top 6 does make it a little bit easier to get there. And as for the losers, for the first series, the loser of Liquid versus DGG will face off against IV. We then have the loser of Goon Squad Enigma Galaxy facing off against Brame. We then have Secret versus Into the Breach. Loser plays against Water Rune, previously known as 11 Monkeys. And then finally, the loser of Alliance and Entity will be facing off against the famous Team Bald, who have made it through these qualifiers. We'll see how that goes. All of these lower bracket matches are going to be taking place the following day, so although there may not be any eliminations on the first day of qualifiers, there will be some directly after, and that is when some TI dreams start to get shattered. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Who do you guys have winning these series? If I had to pick again, for 3 of the series, I think it's a little obvious. I would go Liquid, Secret, and Entity. But for Enigma Galaxy versus Goon Squad, I think again that one should be the closest. I hope it's a 3-game series because I think these teams are, or they at least should be, pretty evenly matched. But I would go with Enigma Galaxy. They have looked really scarily good with Sumail, and I'm just super stoked to see if they're actually able to get themselves back into the upper echelons of Western Europe. And yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy these qualifiers. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting these past few months. I know a lot of you guys have been asking if I'm coming back. And yeah, I think that's the plan. I'm not going to be getting straight into daily uploads. I'm probably just going to ease my way back into it. I didn't just take time away from uploading. I also took some time away from competitive Dota, watching competitive Dota as much as I did. I was watching it a lot, and it was very hard to keep up with. But I'm looking to sort of ease my way back into it. I was still following it, I just was not watching it as actively. So anyways, with TI right around the corner, I thought, what better time to really get back into it. So yeah, anyways, all this to say, thank you guys so much for your support over these past few months. And yeah, let's get back into some Dota. I'm hoping to also respark our Discord server. I know it's been pretty dead lately, and it makes sense. The channel's been a little dead lately. But if you guys want to talk about anything DPC related with people just like yourselves, feel free to check that out. Link in the description to the channel Discord. And I would love to see you guys there. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.